Everybody on YouTube wants to show you how they get their first 100 clients, but nobody, and I mean nobody, actually shows you how to get their first few clients. So I'm going to do the complete opposite today, because what you are looking at right now is my real Stripe account. A real money from real clients paying us real money every single month. Right now, there are exactly two of them. But here is the deal I have made with myself. By December 31st, I'm turning these two into 100 on camera with the real numbers and nothing hidden. And honestly, it all started with just one webinar. I spent $490 approximately on ads. Only two people showed up on that actual webinar, and we converted both of them into paying clients. Now, that is not a luck. This is a magic of offering the right service to a right buyer persona, solving a real problem for them. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how it happened, completely transparent, step by step. You are going to see the real video ad that we ran, our real Facebook ads dashboard, the real webinar itself, and even the real screen of these clients paying us through Stripe after their free trial ended. Because this is real beginning, real numbers, real clients, and real proof without any fluff at all. Let's jump into it. Before I dive into the ad and numbers, let me give you a tiny bit background so all of this actually makes sense to you. I run an AI receptionist SaaS for medical clinics called HiClinic, and what we do is pretty simple. We build software and AI systems for clinics, and all of it runs on a white label tool called GoHighLevel. Now, before I built HiClinic, I ran another agency called WebDew for almost 9 years, and at WebDew, I made every single mistake I have written in a book, which I'm gonna share it with you, where I have sold every service, I have helped every industry, I tried to be doing everything for everyone, and it almost killed the business, to be honest. So when I started HiClinic, I promised one single thing to myself. I'm not going to make that mistake again. So at HiClinic, we do one thing for one type of a buyer persona in one country. What? We build AI receptionist for medical clinics in Canada. That's it. And I'm not doing this all alone either. My partner in this is Dr. Bajaj, who is an actual practicing medical doctor here in Canada. And honestly speaking, that turned out to be one of the biggest reasons this whole thing worked. I will come back to that in just a minute. Now, here is the real question we were trying to answer. We had this brand new software offer, but we did not actually know yet whether people would really pay for it or not. Instead of spending months and fortune trying to find that out, we wanted to test it as cheaply and as quickly as possible we could do. And that is exactly why we ran webinar, because webinar is basically a small cheap experiment. You put a little bit money in, you make your offer to a room of people, and very quickly you find out whether this offer is going to work or not. Which takes me to our chapter number 1, the ads. The very first piece of whole thing was the video ad we ran to fill the webinar room. Let me actually show you the exact ad. Here is the ad.
Dr. Manisha speaking. Can I put you on hold for a second? Thank you. Dr. Manisha speaking.
You know what's crazy? Clinics are spending thousands on ads but still losing patients because nobody responded fast enough.
Or because the call got missed and your receptionist was busy saying, "Hello, please hold."
And most clinics are working like it's 2010 with the 47 browser tabs open in the background.
So that's the reason we started HiClinic, an all-in-one growth system for Canadian clinics with AI receptionist, website chat widget that books appointments automatically, Google review automation, reminders, follow-ups, and all-in-one patient communication system in one place.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bajaj. I wish this system could have existed years ago for the clinics.
Hi, I'm Danish Wadhwa with 15 years of experience in marketing and building systems like this. If you run a clinic in Canada, then book a demo. Look at what that ad is really doing. It is not trying to sell the software at all. It is simply promising the clinic owner one specific valuable thing and then inviting them to a free webinar to learn about it. And honestly, that is all a good webinar ad really has to do. Correct? It just has to make the right person stop to the ad and want them to register. That's it. Now the question is, did it actually work? And did we get people to sign up from this ad? Which takes me to our chapter number 2, the numbers. Yes, that ad really worked for us. For the beginning, this is the part almost nobody is ever willing to show you, and I'm going to show you today. Right here in our actual Facebook Ads Manager, pulled straight from our ad account, as you can see, we spent a total of almost $490. We have got 5 people to register for this webinar. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you here because that really matters to me, especially if you are going to follow this whole journey with me. Out of these 5 people who registered here, only 2 of them actually showed up live on the webinar on the day. And look, this is just the reality of the webinar. Not everybody who signs up is going to show up. And that is simply something you have to plan it well in advance. But here is the interesting part. Even with just these 2 people in the room, the math still worked out beautifully. And I am about to show you exactly why. Which takes me to a chapter number 3, the webinar. By the way, this webinar is actually live over on our HiClinic YouTube channel. If you want to study the entire thing from start to finish, the link is in the description. But let me walk you through how we structured it, because believe me, the structure really mattered a lot. Dr. Bajaj opened the webinar first, and this was completely intentional, because the moment an actual doctor stands up and talks to another clinic owner, you get this instant trust that I simply could not have created of all my own. And once that trust was already there, I came in and delivered the actual content and the offer. Doctor first for the trust, me second for the system. And honestly, the 1-2 combination is huge part of why this worked so well. Now, real question is, why did both of these people actually end up saying yes to the offer? What made this convert instead of falling apart? Which takes me to our chapter number 4, the offer. The big question is, why did both of these people actually ends up saying yes? And it really comes down to 3 specific things. The first one, like I said earlier, that was a doctor to a doctor trust. These were clinic owners being showed as a solution by the fellow doctor, and that changes absolutely everything. Second thing was that the offer actually solved a real painful problem for them, which is missing calls and therefore missing patients for their business. And the third thing was the pricing. Normally our software is priced at $498 a month, but because these were our very first clients, we offered them a special discount. I mean, an initial mover price of just $198 a month. Now, I want to be really clear about why we did that, because this is important lesson for you to learn. When you are just starting out, your first few clients are worth so much more to you than the money is coming in, because they give you your real proof, they give you a real testimonials, and they give you a confidence that this things actually works. Giving them a lower founding price in exchange for all of that is very, very smart move for running a business. On top of all of that, we also gave them a 7 days free trial. So there was almost no risk at all for them to say no to this offer at all. Real quick, before you are going any further, if you are trying to build your own SaaS offer right now and getting stuck on the pricing, the pitch, or the piece of the funnel, come and join us inside our community agencypreneurs. This is exactly where we build these things together, and I will personally help you work through your first offer. Link is in the description. Now back to the story. Because a free trial is a nice thing, but a free trial does not actually pays you, right? What really matters is whether they stick around and pay you real money once that trial finally gets end. Which takes me to a chapter number 5, the actual payment proof. This is honestly my favorite part of the entire video. Let me show you actual screen right here on my Stripe account. After that 7 days of free trial ended, of course, you can see both of them converting into a real paying clients. This is actual payment going through straight into our account. And right there is the whole thing. That is the proof. This was not just a talk. 2 real clinics paying us real money every single month. So 2 down, 98 more to go by the end of this year. Now, I don't want you to walk away with the story. I want you to walk away with the lessons, because those are the parts you can actually use in your own business. Which takes me to our next chapter, the 5 lessons. All right, let me pull out the real lessons from all of this for you, because this is a part you can actually take and use it in your own business. Let's start with the lesson number 1. You do not need a big number to prove that something works. You just need a very small proof, and 2 paying client is a good proof enough for you to start any business and scale for that matter. Lesson number 2, test cheap. Before you ever try to scale, we spent under $500 to find out the truth, instead of spending months and just guessing and spending thousands of dollars. Lesson number 3, borrow somebody else's authority when you can. This is what we did with Dr. Bajaj, and it made our offer 10 times more powerful than I could have even made it all by myself. Lesson number 4, do not be afraid to give your very first client the lower founding price and an easy free trial to get them in, because that proof is right now is worth way more to you than the extra money you are charging them. And the lesson number 5, which is honestly the biggest one of all of them, a webinar is not a one-time thing. It is a repeatable machine. Once you know it, it works. You can run it again and again and again. Now, before I wrap this up, I want you to be really straight with you about where we actually stand today, because this whole video series is built on honesty and transparency. And I do not want you to think that these 2 clients are really near to the finish line, which takes me to my last chapter, the closure. The 2 client is actually a proof. It is a very first step on the road to 100 steps. But here is why that actually matters so much, because we now know for a fact that this model works, the ad works, the webinar works, and the offer works too. And that means the only thing left for us to do now is to go and do it again and again, and do it bigger. It's more about doing an extra rep every time we get onto a webinar. This is exactly what we are going to do between now and until the end of this year. More money into the ads, the same webinar run again and again, and the whole thing refined as we go, all the way to our 100 clients. And I'm going to bring you along for every single step of it. You are going to get to watch us go from these very first 2 clients to all the way up to real time, maybe 100 or 200 or more clients for that matter. If you want to follow this whole journey to 100 clients, then do me a quick favor and hit the subscribe button, because episode 2 is going to pick up exactly where this one leaves you off today. And if you want to go a little deeper and want me to actually show you how to build a funnel and an offer like this one for yourself, come and join the community agencypreneurs. Like I said, the full webinar is sitting over on our HiClinic YouTube channel, so go ahead and watch that after this. This is episode number 1. My name is Danish, and I will see you in the next video.